Hey, hey, hey. Oh, good. Thank God. I was wanting to make sure that the sound worked. Lately, I've been getting on and the sound hasn't worked, and I don't really know why. I feel like it's kind of like the relationships that everyone's dealing with, you know? Like you should work. It looks like it would work, but you don't work. There's something wrong, where really, there really should be nothing wrong, but you're making everything wrong. See, that's what it feels like when you've been in one of those type of karmic relationships. Now, for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Laura Schwam, and I am a master psychic healer. I learned the art of healing through healing myself, and I am going to do a reading for Scorpio. Now, know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So, we do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they played as karmic themes. Why? Because they're healing style readings. That's why I said what I said in the beginning. It's really important. Hey, Siska, thank you for joining me again today. So, and the reason why is because a lot of times, by the time we find YouTube and when we're on YouTube, it's like because we're really frustrated with somebody that we're dealing with. Believe me, when your relationship is good, you're not always on YouTube. It's not that you won't say, oh, let me pop in from time to time because it's fun. No, what winds up happening is like when you're in a karmic relationship, you're on like YouTube every day trying to figure out why your relationship looks the way that it does. Why is your person doing what they're doing? That's what we want to know. It's like, we know that they have feelings. Who cares if that's what it looks like? Who cares? We don't, it's like we don't want it to look like the wounds of our past. That's really when you attract a karmic mate, what are you doing? You're attracting a person that has similar or the same behaviorisms as someone that either raised you or someone that you dated, someone that was in your environment. It could have been a teacher, it could be any other person, but any person that comes into your life to show you anything, teach you anything, is known as a soulmate. Anyone could be your soulmate, anybody. Person that comes in for a season to teach you one thing. It could be like a landlord. It could be like a teacher that you had for a semester. It could be anything that makes you look at yourself or the world differently is a soulmate. They're coming in to teach you some divide. It's just there's different levels. And so when you're dealing with this past life karmic mate, it's like you're dealing with someone that has so much trauma from accumulated past lives, and that you were actually with this person in every single one of those lives, and you've accumulated a lot of karma and spirit things that you should have already learned. So now you're in a karmic contract where spirit's like, all right, I'm going to put you, somebody that has no power, someone that's insecure, someone that, doesn't like, it's codependent. They may look good from the outside and they know how to wear a good mask, but on the inside, they don't know who they are and they're very low vibrational. With someone that is a very nice person, someone that's very empathetic, sensitive, lovely, like thinks about other people, is kind, you know, but I'm going to place them with this horrible other person that has horrible character. And you say, why? And it's because it's imbalance. Imbalance goes to imbalance. And so these karmic contracts are that. It's like when you're linked up to a person that's going to bind you almost to that trauma that you had in childhood or whatever the trauma was. Doesn't always need to be childhood. However, it usually has the flavor of childhood trauma because you wouldn't have been able to manifest the first experience that was imbalanced with the relationship if there wasn't elements of that family trauma in there, which is, it always makes me feel whatever you fill in the blank, that I'm not loved, that I'm not worthy, that I'm not good enough. It's always a karmic theme. So breaking the karmic contract or cycle prevents you from continuing to loop with new relationships, which is what you see a lot of times with one person getting out and then getting back into a relationship. You know, it stops that, but it allows you, when you integrate the spiritual lesson, to be able to quantum jump into the new reality. Then the universe is able to bring you people that are going to resonate more with who you are today, not the wounds of the past. And understanding, they feel like, why do I have to go through this again? And Spirit says, you'll have to go through it through your entire life, whatever the karmic lesson is. The difference is you don't consider it a lesson because you learned it already. So there's no anxiety. There's no, your approach to it is different. You're used to it. It's not a big deal. And the reason why is so that you see yourself differently. The whole embodying of consciousness is what you need to do to actually heal the effects of trauma. It's not just the mind. So you might be like, I've healed, I've forgotten, I've let go, I'm done, I'm angry. And the Spirit says, oh, all that anger, that's not good. And you're like, yeah, because I'm frustrated, I'm pissed off. So there's an energy there. Now, I don't know why I always do a little tidbit of talk before. I'm going to call it that from now on. Tidbit of talk, what is the topic? What does Spirit want to talk about? What is going to be, what's going to uncover it within these cards? What does it have to do with you? Of course, we want to know whether the person's going to come back, even if they are Quasimodo and have half a brain cell and is, going to be the next murderer. We just need to know what they're going to do, because that's our ego, But really, Spirit says the most important thing is that you elevate back to a place of unconditional love. So you don't continue to be stuck in that. And it's stuck to a person that's of such a low consciousness that's not going to give back. You need to understand that is what God says. God also knows that you're like, yeah, I know. Are they suffering? Are they suffering? Spying on me, caring about me? And he'll be fucking is miserable every day looking like it's, again, that's the ego. And that's a very normal part of the karmic relationship. It's because it's like, I want you to suffer, but not so much that you don't come back. I want you to, but I need you to come back, but I need you to be different, but it's frustrating. And it's understand we can't change that person, but we can change ourselves. And that makes that person change. Remember, there's many different realities that play out at one time. You could actually get what you want. But a lot of times Spirit says, but you're probably not going to like what you get. That's why the chase is so much better than the prize when you're dealing with karmics. Remember that. So the word of the video, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to write the word of the video in the comment bar. And know that that's the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. Now, you're going to have to reach out to me through my email. That's in the description box, along with all other important information. By the way, I'll be giving away a free webinar. And for people that are serious about healing the effects of trauma, I'm giving away a free webinar. All you need to do is put your name on the wait list and you will receive it. Because I've been doing a study to see what people want to learn about, what people need healing. And they're like, why do I keep attracting the same types of people, situations, and experiences? How can I break this karmic cord that from a past relationship experience? How do I heal and integrate the traumas? And what can I actually do to create my life? Why am I here? So again, these are the ones these are the questions that people want to know. The webinar is going to be based around your question, what we asked you. What do you want to learn? Me and my team, because I can't do it all by myself, damn it. But it's, again, we did a study because I wanted to, offer something. And I've been working on something for a long time to heal the effects of trauma. And know that I'm not just the president. I was a member too. Now understand that my My dad had cancer 9 times. He had upper and lower back surgery, 2 hip replacements, and he was the smartest guy that you'd ever meet. Skipped grades in school. The FBI asked for him to work with them. And got all these opportunities, but got in his own way. Sabotaged every single last one of them. Was an alcoholic and married a narcissist. And my mom was as mentally sick as my father was physically sick. So again, when I say narcissist, I more like spiritual disease. So I know firsthand. I was conditioned in an environment where I was told I was a piece of shit every day. And you can heal yourself. You don't have to keep yourself bound to the limitations of the perceived perceptions from your experiences, because a lot of those experiences were not created by your true self, the higher self, the God part of self. The God part of self is of unconditional love. It's what connects us to each other. It's called empathy, sensitivity, and the language is of the soul, which is claircognizance and clairsentient. So again, remember, the genius, the creative genius is that it's of the higher self. And the higher self knows everything. It's that our lower selves gets in the way, which is the ego. And a lot of times when you have trauma, you base it on you base who you are on those experiences. But a lot of times those experiences were not made from your own consciousness, because we adapt to our environment, what our environment tells us, what we perceive. And so there is no wrong. However, there's many different realities that play out at one time. So in order to get to the reality that you want to live, you have to get to the genius. You have to be the genius. You have to tap into that, especially if you've had nothing but horrible karmic relationships. And we're going to look and see, because let me tell you something. The only way to go against evil energy, dark energy, negative energy, is not with negative, dark, evil energy. Martin Luther King taught us that a long time ago. Can't chase out the darkness with darkness. You have to transcend your mind to become unconditional love, to see everything through the filter of unconditional love. And that only happens by being in this energy. So if you're someone that is like, I keep getting blocked. And so you're like, well, how the hell do I do that? By becoming yourself, by living your bliss, by knowing your soul's purpose, by, again, your passion for life. It's like there's a lack of individuality. And I feel that. I feel like you have a lot of individuality. There's you're an artistic being, but you're connected to someone that doesn't. Now take it as it resonates, but I'm feeling like Scorpios tend to be like the more deep people. They're the ones that can be creative. They do. They're someone that's soft, but they know also how to be strong and hard if they need to be. And so understand you have this creative genius energy where I feel like you're getting noticed because of it. You're making things happen. And this is the great thing, because when you're in alignment, doing that, creating, you're co-creating. So anything that's happening in your environment, it doesn't matter. See, that's what gets us through when we're in this energy. And a lot of people don't know how to get to that energy. It's like, well, it's not just through embodying what you love passion-wise, but it's by making sure that your life is balanced. So I feel like you're someone that's in alignment. And that's a really good thing, but that's the underlining energy. So what I feel like is you're not seeing much movement within the relationship department. And you say, yeah, and that's what I want. It's like, what the fuck with this person? Well, you're in a high vibration. That means you're protected. And you're protected because, again, you're in that vibe where you're like, I'm not looking for problems. I'm just working on what I have to work through. It's like, and the universe will always conspire when you are in alignment. So it's also a fact that this person is also saying, well, I can't really go to you and a low vibe. I don't even know how to approach you. Now, that's the issue, the ego, because it can't strategize a way back in. That's the issue, this person. So you're not seeing any movement because this person can't get over. They're throwing you, like, if they threw you a few peanuts, and you didn't respond, it's like, well, now it means that they have to put in effort. And they see that's pissing them off because, hey, what the fuck? Somebody told this person that you can't steal the milk from the back door anymore. Damn it. Who told? I'm angry because I never had to pay the $2.50 for the gallon of milk before. And now I have to. I really shouldn't have to. It's like, I don't know why you're making me. It's like, again, the ego of that person. So it's because it's going to trigger that person. And that person thought who they thought that you were. You're not that person. That's what it comes down to. So the person has to figure out a way to come back, and they have anxiety. Because I think that they thought that it was a sure thing. And that there was a sure thing. That it's not that there wasn't a connection, it was just a sure thing. And I've been getting that lately. I've been getting a lot of twin flame relationships. I've been getting a lot of, people that have really royally fucked up the relationship ahead of time and then have to come back, like with their tail, between their legs, humbled, where it's so, okay, but this is this person's energy as far as right now. Like, I feel like either they are living with somebody that is constraining them, which is making them giving up too much of their power by putting them under a lot of rules. So it's like they have no freedom right now. So it's, again, and I also feel like this person tends to do that in the relationships, possibly because they are with somebody, you know what I mean? But somebody that's constrained, there's intimacy problems, there's trust problems. That's what it's saying. So this person that you're connected to, I believe, is either in a karmic contract themselves, or maybe they were in a karmic contract, but this energy is like I said, somebody has a lot of rules, and they have no identity of their own. And that's what happens when the codependent relationship gets really out of control. And it's because that person is like, I'm going to do what I want, how I want, when I want, with whoever I want. And there's an arrogance, like too big to fail almost. And so I feel like at one point, this person was like, whoever they were with, they assumed was never going to leave them, and assumed that you'd wait and that they could figure it out. But it's like this arrogance. That's their energy. So I believe that they do, when they're in a relationship with someone, they will constrain you with how much information they give you. By, like, if you'll be like, okay, let me know, and them not letting you know until like maybe half an hour before, because they don't know what they're going to do. So you're continuously waiting on somebody. So it's very manipulative. This person wouldn't be able to do that. I'm feeling like, again, this person expected you to rescue them. Again, hey, Diane. And like, and they tend to, they're either saying that they're not constrained, but they're being the savior, which is a lie. Like, I have to do this. I have to do this for these people, which is a lie. It's the fact of, you want to make yourself feel better. You're going to martyr yourself out, which is like, again, the part of the storyline yesterday was that this person was martyring themselves out to make themselves feel better, to look better. Look, I can look at myself because look at what I'm doing. I'm saving everybody. But they're not really saving anybody. That you're constrained and it's just easier for you. You're lazy. You're lazy. Lazy to change. And that's why they're like, I really don't have to change. Eventually things will go back the way that they were. And it's like, and it's just out of laziness. It's not because they want to stay with wherever they are. It's, I don't want to have to do the work. So instead, it's like easier for them to be victim. But I do believe that this person was like did try and contact you, but it was so minimal. But this person really expected that you were gonna like talk to them and like kind of like that they were gonna be able to like hang out with you for a while, that hey, I have been thinking about you. And of course they have because they're like constrained by somebody, so they can't go anywhere. So it's like I've been thinking about you, yeah, because you chose the wrong person. Clearly, clearly, and you're not happy where you are. So now you're the victim. Anxiety. This person sees you're not coming back. And what you're like is like, oh, how does it feel being full of anxiety? Because this is what you did to me the entire time. And you gave nothing. So I hope you enjoy it. And no, I'm not going to be your savior. I'm not going to come in and do it. So you might as well pretend that you really love, being the savior, being the hero. But really, you don't own your life. It's like an I see it. Yeah, because you want to have all you want to have all the attention. You want to have like this person either has a good job or has something again that keeps them bound to money, keeps them bound to something that they get attention from. So it's again this false persona when really they're so needy for attention. They're so needy, and that's why one person couldn't give them anything. So that all they do is create karmic relationships. Again, at home they have this person, and then out and about they have somebody else, and they're always getting attention. They're always getting attention, and pretending to be someone that they're not. And that's really what it is. So this person pretends to be someone that they're not, but realizing that people really could love the real them, but they're really needy. They're emotionally needy. And that happens through, again, childhood, the attachment, styles, like what kind of parents like raise this person. So, usually that's why you said the karmic thing is that this person is raised by, avoidant attachment style. So they couldn't, and then a needy mom that they became the savior, they became the parent, they became the fixer, and they don't want to do that, but they didn't form their own identity. They didn't create their own self. Has been a fab exact or very close, have been both recovering, triggering, healing together. Years until that's good. I'll answer all questions after. So again, someone that just always has to get attention, always has to get from other people. This way, they can act self-righteous. Well, I don't care if I burn a bridge with you because I'll go over there and I'll talk to Terry, or I talk to Bobby, or talk to Karen, or talk to whoever, and I won't come back. I'll be getting what I need emotionally. I don't need to sleep with these people, but they'll be telling how charming I am because I'll put on a show. I'll put on one of my masks. Either I'll be the victim that the life is hard. If I think that you don't value yourself, I'll come in as the victim because then I don't have to do anything and you won't recognize that I'm not doing anything for you. Or everything's very strategic. Everything is with an exhibitionist, someone that wears masks all the time. All the time. So that's what you're not getting. It's like where, then they'll accuse you of being fragile when really their ego is fragile. And then the relationship becomes too intense because there is a karmic, you are karmic. And as I explain in all my videos, a karmic from past life is just a person that you incarnated with to learn certain lessons. And you didn't learn them in a past life. See, when you learn those lessons, a lot of times in the next life, you're friends with that person. or you get along, or that person winds up helping you, you see them in a different light, a different consciousness. But when you see them at a low consciousness and so too intense, this is the passion, the attraction is there, but there's too much drama, and this person creates the drama because they don't give the emotional attention. They don't give the time. It's part of their control. If I don't, so you always want more. And I can do that because I'm the exhibitionist. I get to talk to everybody. There again, there could be people, nobody's. But what you see there is very addictive energy, and the relationship always seems to be very draining and exhausting. Okay, that's really what it is, because there is that passion, there is that attraction, there is that, but then there's also like the pain, because this person doesn't want to like change, doesn't want to do what they need to do, doesn't want to rise up to become the better person. They're lazy. If you really want to know, that's what it looks like, that they're lazy. We're going to look, but I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. And it's also they're lazy because there's a lack of self. Like, I don't know, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? Trying to figure out things before they unfold. You can't do that. So this person reverts back to the way that they dealt with trauma when they were a kid, which wasn't good. Lies. I feel like for you, you just got tired of the lies. Again, who am I dealing with? And feeling undervalued, because again, they have somebody at home, or even if they don't, they're talking to multiple people, that there's no emotional connection to anybody. By the way, it's again just certain people, there's better connection because there's either more passion in the bedroom, or there's more like this person's getting their ego fed a lot. So of course, that's the whole point, to keep you in a place of not knowing your worth, because you don't know it. See, since you don't know it, I'm not going to tell you what it is. That's who this person is. They think that you don't know what it is. So they gaslight. They know that's not true. That's not where you're like, okay, like I'm not crazy. It's like, it's what you keep everything on the surface. No, this is really the conversation that I have. It's like, okay, you told me like that you're cleaning out your garage today. Or you told me like insignificant things, not things that I could build an emotional connection to you, which you won't talk about any of your past situations unless, of course, you're complaining and saying that it's that person that did something, or you're talking about your money, or you're talking about like things that you don't build an emotional connection. The relationship cannot go any deeper. And this person is like, and I don't think that you know the difference. But and I see by how much you give me, and you got tired of the abuse, because it's like you did know. You're like, I'm telling you, and you're saying no, and then what you do is you get mad, you gaslight, and you gaslight by then stonewalling me. Like, oh, thinking that I don't know that you're not around, and not talking to me and talking to other people to get your ego fed and to teach me a lesson. And you justify it, and you think that that's okay. And you have a problem with me again calling you out on it, like that it's not my life. Like it's not my life. Like it's your life. Like you can treat my life how you want to treat my life. So again, that would tell me that there's an undertone of childhood trauma in there, like that first of where someone, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to make your life miserable. You're going to be punished. You won't be punished in a way where I hit you, because I can't hit you, but I'll psychologically mess with you. I'll tell you that you're not deserving. It's like, and I won't give you. And then I'll go and I'll get attention from other people to feed my ego. And again, the whole point is to try to break your spirit. because this person had a hard time of letting go of the past and the fears that are associated with it. So they manifest in chaos in their relationships because of them. But understand, for you too, because this is your trigger, not theirs. But this is the mirroring energy that you're both holding on to that energy, because you'll be like, why would I get attracted to a person like this? Why would they come into my life? I'm a good person. I didn't do anything like wrong for me to get this type of energy, especially since, again, if you were brought up by a parent that had that dominating energy that was like, I don't really care about what you want. I'm going to do what's best for what I think is best. And I don't care what psychologically it does to you, and understand. And I understand that a lot of times parents do that from a place of love. So it's not a blame game. It's just more of a, where did the original trauma come from? Why is that an imprint on my subconscious mind that I would actually like be calling that out into the universe? Why is that? And it's because of the past. It's because of childhood unintegrated spiritual wound is why the universe said, it's like, well, you didn't pay the karmic dues. It looks like you went through the toll, but you never paid the toll. It's like, and you're like, what does that mean? It's like might have went through the experience, but you didn't really like pass the experience. You might have ran away from the experience, or you passed it, but you were still terrified and had a lot of anxiety and still weren't strong within yourself. So Spirit says, and that's also a karmic theme that plays out within your life, that you'll get that experience until you handle it properly, till there's no more emotional trigger. And otherwise then you don't see yourself differently. The whole point is that you see yourself differently, and that only happens by embodying a new consciousness. That's why you didn't pass the test. It's like, or you haven't gone through any new tests or whatever it is, but the universe is saying, came up, and it's like, called your name. Oh, like you didn't pay your taxes 1 year. Oh, look at this. You passed by. It's like, we got to go get this person, and they have to pay the toll. They have to pass the test in order to raise your vibration. And the thing is, you've already raised your vibration and have done things. So it's almost a sense of, why do I have to just go through with this? And Spirit says, because of that, you never saw yourself differently. You have to see yourself differently. And there's karmic lessons that you didn't learn yet. It's like, because when you go through an experience like that, it's going to teach you. And especially when it's been a karmic theme that's played out already in the past. And with the same energy, in order to really release that energy. So I like to go deep and see, like, what does this person feel? Because even though here it is, you're like, okay, you were like manipulative, and I like left, and it was like not really a good relationship. What does this person want? What do they think? What is like, did it affect them? Well, if you left, it definitely affected them, because again, the ego would do it. I'm seeing synchronicities like your name or 111 and working out what they mean. I feel like this person is being pushed into like their intuition. They tend to not go into their intuition because their intuition will connect them to their emotions, and they try to avoid that. So it's more like, it's more like I like strategize, but being that they miss you and they have feelings for you, and you took your power back. Not to mention, you were like, I'm not going to play fall for this game. Believe me, this person's an expert at what they do. It's like, so it's almost like they're scratching their head, like, how did you get away? Like, how did that happen? We are one. Don't let fear get in the way of this truth. It's like this person knows that, again, that who you are, again, as in one, as we're like soulmates, we could be together. What they're not realizing is that they would expect you to like not like, don't let fear stop them, but they don't look at what they do to like create those experiences. They're asleep. So it'll almost be like they come back into your life and they'll be like, hey, friend, how you doing? And you'll be like almost trying to act like nothing happened after like they betray like this. And that's again because when they were growing up, they were treated like crap. And then, everything went back to normal because it was their family. So there's still a sense of that they never learned how to like emotionally regulate, because that's an emotional like issue that they have. And it's, almost like they get mad, so they have to they get triggered, and then whoever's in their life there is a little bit responsible for it. Remember, and if you're not going to be around this person because they're not going to give you the time, they would be expecting you to like still do all that stuff and be there. And maybe for a while that you would do it, but what you would be like after a while is really resentful because you're like doing everything for this person. And I feel like that's what happened in their previous relationship. So it's almost like this person is like, we're one, we're this, we're that, but they don't want to look and see what they did. They're like, oh, let's pretend that let's not even talk about that. So when they come back, don't be surprised if they don't want to talk about anything from the past. That if they just say, let's take it from here and move forward, like completely being selfish, not caring about what you went through during those times, not even wanting to talk about it, not wanting to feel guilty about it. It's like, oh, well, that just happened. No, it's like neither one of us is being honest right now. Why are we afraid to express ourselves? Where I feel like this person feels like, well, I can still feel you. I know that I know you still care. Why are you holding back? Again, still not seeing what they do. And then saying, well, I still have feelings. Why am I holding back? Really, it's like they know why they're holding back. They're holding back because they would have to change. They don't want to seem like the weaker. They want to have, like, again, they lose their strategy if you don't play the game. So again, and you're not playing the game. That's why this person is like, how come you're not coming back? Like, how come they're like, how come, they can feel you? How come, you they can feel. And I want you to know the Genius card, by the way, is that spirit part of self. And when you can feel your soulmate, it's because you're recognizing that energy, that you're recognizing spirit, you're recognizing that. So this person knows who you are. And they're like, I don't understand why you're holding back. But the whole time they're not taking responsibility for who they are or what they are. So this is what this is saying, is expand your concept of what a twin flame is. It's more than a romance. It's a deep soul activation to heal in order to embody love and light. So this person could step into being a twin flame. They have the potential to do that if they step into it. But what we see right here is that they're not. What we see right here is that they're in their ego. So let's be clear. It's like, yes, there is a connection. Yes, it's a very strong past life karmic connection because the lesson has not been learned. And it hasn't been learned yet in any of the lifetimes. So you incarnated again. Here we go again. Let's see whether you learned. The person didn't learn. They're lazy. Now, if someone tosses them out on their ear after they chose somebody else and they wind up coming back to you, they didn't choose you. That's not your person. That's not a twin flame. They'll try and convince you. They had the potential. They chose not to. It's again because that's why this person, like I said, I feel like they got a little comfortable. And not all the time are you with your twin flame. We have free will. But this person destroyed the relationship. I long to sweep you off your feet and shower you with love. And now I feel like they've become obsessive. So they went from one extreme to another. And it's because I feel like whatever that they were in, whatever they decided to stay in, if they decided not to leave that karmic, whether or not they decided to, whatever it is, they had to have decided to stay or go back to a karmic, what winds up happening is it's like they made the wrong choice. And because they made the wrong choice and someone's constraining their energy and they're miserable now, of course, they're like, what they're obsessive. It's a way to like escapism. That's really what it is. I need to move slowly with this, but trust me that I'm moving. So again, this person believes that they're going to get out of their situation. And I think that they hold on to you. And part of the reason why they actually don't reach out is because I think that they would know that you would say, you know what, I don't really want to talk to you and I really don't care. Like what you do after you did that. And then that would devastate them because it's, again, there was a real connection here. This person just thought, well, you know what, I'm going to try this. And if it doesn't work out, then I just slip right back in through the back door. You know, it's like, and that's not working. It's like because this person took too long. They played too many games. I know in my heart we'll be together one day, and that helps me trust. See, that's what I'm telling you, that this person is still saying, oh, well, this is a twin flame relationship. They don't want to look at all the bullshit that they created. And that's the thing. So they put you in a bad situation. They put you in a situation like, well, you know what, you could actually come back fully healed, but you did all that. And everybody knows that that's what you did. So you lower my vibration, being that I would know that you did what you did and that you didn't really care about me. So you did whatever the fuck you wanted to do anyway. That because that's what you did. You didn't want to be honest. You made the wrong decision. You went with somebody else. That person stabbed you in the back and now constrained you. They're giving you all these rules, took your money. Now you're miserable. Now you're realizing you made the wrong choice. You were hoping that somebody was going to save you. What you see is no one's saving you. So now you're pretending that you're the savior, even though you're not the savior. You're just too lazy to get out of your situation because you don't have anybody sitting there waiting for you, because no one wants to deal with that drama. And then on top of it, it's like now that it didn't work out, it's like you're realizing the type of connection it is, but who cares? You did all that. That's what you wanted to do. It's like, and in that, it's like you ruin the connection, you ruin the trust, and that's what this person doesn't want to see. One of us is sad or angry and is creating an energetic match frequency. Yeah, this person knows that you're pissed off. And there's a little part of them that likes it because they're like, ooh, energetic bond, but they're also scared as shit because they know that you're over it and that you're like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to meet somebody and I am not going to be there for you. I don't give a fuck. It's like, I don't care, twin flame or not. And that's the energy that I feel like you're holding on to. It says, stay conscious of this. And if possible, try to elevate us. Like, this is what this person is like. Oh, I know that you're like, I know that you're not happy. I know that you're not right. I know what I did was not right. But you still did it. And that's what this person, again, it's like you deserve your karma that you got with this person because you jerk them around for so long that's why you're dealing. And at this point, you were ready to start the whole cycle all over again with Scorpio. That's what they were ready to do. Only she did you a favor. She did you a favor by constraining this person. Because as this person was going to come back, they still weren't let go of that person. You know, this person loves drama. I don't have to make a decision, but it's all about me. I'm the exhibitionist. I get so much attention. It's all about me. You see? And now no one's looking at them like that. Everyone's looking at them like, and it's because you didn't do, you weren't part of that equation. See, they thought that they would ruin your reputation too. Like, I mean, or just not think about your reputation, just didn't think about you at all. Then you know that because they didn't give you any time. So now that they want to be in la la land, like, oh yeah, the romance and it's this and that. It's like, no, that's just your brain trying to like hide the fact that you're going to be by yourself and you're not going to have that much. And people are going to know exactly what you did. We must remember that we are gods and goddess and work to embody the energy. So again, that this person, like we have to remember that every single person is that. And that when you don't see that character, it's because it's because the person has lived in an environment or has created too many experiences. And what it means is don't try to change them. And it also means don't listen to what they say, because what they say, they mean in that moment. But again, their moments change because they're imbalanced. They're not consistent. And the reason why is because they looked for other people to do it. So this could have been a soulmate twin flame connection, but they didn't do what they should have done. You know, again, this person is going to awaken, but by the time that they do, it's like I'm going through physical, emotional ascension symptoms. So they're clearing again and releasing old negative energy, which they have to do. Right. It's like that's what it is. It's like if you stay connected with this person, it will be all about them. The reading just won't be all about them. It will be all about them because they don't do anything, and you want to know why. Why are they? Does it look like that? So you have to say, well, what can I do? At that point, when someone says, it's like here we go again. It's the same story. It's to understand that you're not learning your spiritual lessons then, and that you're getting that energy because again, spirits wants you to learn something. I want to look for another deck that I always like to pull from lately. That's not it. That's not it. Here you guys are. So many cards. Okay. Let's pull from the inner child cards to see. And then we'll see, because the best that you can do is like, well, that person was completely unfair. And I feel like, listen, that they're going to come back and they would be different. But at that point, after they did everything, the relationship is kind of destroyed already by everything that they did. So it would really require you to be able to forgive this person. And I don't know if you're going to want to do that. And let me tell you, if you're manifesting for yourself, you definitely don't want to do that because the person didn't earn their place in your life. They didn't earn it. And because they didn't earn it, you don't really know who they are. They haven't invested is what I'm talking about. So what kind of an emotional bond is that? It's all like, oh, escapism now. Now you're going to lust me until like you don't love me anymore. And then I get to do all the shit work while you run around and talk to other people. Because, I mean, that's the cycle that this person is in. They haven't done any healing. Remember that. Impatient, card number 1. Insecurity, card number 2. Actually, these aren't my inner child cards. Damn it. But we'll take them. Well, I'll take them. We'll put them aside because I don't believe that there's any mistakes. Maybe spirit is like, again, there's never any mistakes. So there's meaning in those cards. Okay, optimism, card 1. Misunderstood, 2. Innocence, 3. Support, 4. Security and safety, 5. Trauma, 6. And then we see shame. And then the 2 cards from this deck. Release control. Facing fears. Well, what Spirit is saying is like you obviously attracted this person into your life because they're, again, at a very low vibration. And when you don't feel safe and you don't have security, it's a root chakra imbalance. And that's usually inherited, right? It's inherited from our parents. So the trauma of not having enough, and it could be parents weren't around, they were in a bad situation, there wasn't any security, there wasn't any safety, there wasn't any nurturing. Children also associate their emotional support to be part of their, survival. So there wasn't any of that. There was trauma. So there was inherited trauma, and there was also trauma that was projected onto you through shame. And again, as I said, there was no support. There was no support, and then your innocence was affected. So from right then and there, like at such a young age, you formed trust issues, and then when you would be the fixer or want to fix the family or ask for what was going on or wanted to care a lot, I feel like, again, your family just looked at what they were committed to misunderstanding you. And that could be, again, that your views, again, were a lot different than their views, but I feel like they were in pretty much survival mode. And survival mode could be they just didn't make enough money and they worked all the time. But either way, they weren't living happy lives. Because they weren't living happy lives, like I said, there was a lot of projection. And that projection is what creates that shame, and that's what creates insecurity later on in life. So Spirit said that you didn't know your worth. You didn't know your worth because at such a young age you went out and you had to be your own parent. You had to be your own support. And children approach everything with fear. They don't know. They're trying to figure it out. And so, like I said, it becomes trauma. And because you had that trauma and you were coming from that place, you were also misunderstood by your peers, by other people, because they didn't know what you were really going through at home. They just saw the manifestations of what you were going through at home. So would see like maybe that you were overly emotional, or maybe again had some bad character, and bad character could be anything from, like, as a young child, stealing to whatever it is, just to get love. Because there wasn't the love, there wasn't the security and the support, it affected your innocence. So understand, like, whatever it is, children do what they do in order to survive. They're using their little noodle, and what they're doing is they're using logic to figure it out. So they're saying, well, I'm not loved, I'm not liked, I want to be liked. So that might mean going into school and giving all their toys away. And then having those toys disregarded on the floor like it meant nothing to the kid that they gave it to. Where, again, that would be hurt, trying to get love through outside things because you didn't get it. There wasn't security. Wanting to be liked, wanting to fit in, maybe with the popular crowd, whatever it is. It's that it was an imbalance, and it recreated that same type of trauma, right? That's what it is, and kept you in a place of insecurity, made you feel bad about yourself. Where Spirit's saying, yeah, because it's like you're doing the same thing just with different people. It's like, so you have to raise your vibration. It's like when, meanwhile, you always tended to be an optimistic person. I feel like you normally are, but every now and again, everybody gets down in the dumps. And so Spirit says, well, you don't have enough support, not interactive enough in your life. And that's why I'm not emotionally giving you yourself what you need to stay optimistic, And so Spirit says, and impatient, I feel like you're impatient to find love because you don't Like there's a sense of you needing to create your own security, and where Spirit's saying that takes time. We need to create the security before you get that person in your life. This person may see that you're creating it, may want to help you, may want to do something. Nah, it's do your own thing. It's like find yourself. It's like you don't need anyone outside of you. You need to get strong within yourself. Give yourself that unconditional love. And I will bring you somebody to love you. Again, I know what you want more than you know what you want. I even know your type more than you know your type, is what the universe says. I got somebody, but you got to get out of your own way. And that's again because right now it's like you're trying to drive the bus, because this person, they'll have you again. If they drive in the bus with you, you're gonna go right off the you're gonna go right off the cliff. It's like because you're like Magoo, you can't see, and the other person is selfish. They only see what they want to see. So it's about living your bliss and knowing that you are loved, even though you didn't have that love growing up. Spirit says, I need for you to show me that you love yourself, to integrate that, and to know that you give yourself the security and the safety and the emotional support. And I'm going to match that energy tenfold, because that's the promise. That's what the universe says. I always make it multiply. And in God's hands, what did I say? This is what Spirit's saying. It's like you're trying to drive the bus and you don't know how to drive. And that's the problem, because if you knew how to drive, you wouldn't be with that person. You wouldn't like that person. So Spirit says your advice, your trust in your life is implicit. God's greatest knowing and greatest love guides your heart and your choices. Your faith is steady and you remain true to your light. Everything unfolds according to God's will. Again, but your will is whatever, God's will is whatever you desire. So the focus needs to be on it's going to happen because it's my desire. So all my energy is going on what I desire. And that's not by trying to find it. It's by me becoming it, because I need for the person to come to me, to have a job, to value me, to respect me, to be of the higher levels of consciousness that are derived from unconditional love. Not that past person that's all about lust and what's the better option for me. Oh, look, I picked the Zonker curtain. Now let me try this curtain. No, you don't get that. You get the fucking donkey horse. That's what you get. The stuffed up donkey horse. You don't get the brand new car. You don't get the trip to Italy. You don't get any of that. What you get is a zonk. You don't get anything. And that's that person's karma. And they need to eat their karma. It's again, somebody wants to give them karma. Do not take that karma from that person. They need to face it full-heartedly, because otherwise it's going to affect you. And God's saying, let me take the wheel. It's like, trust me, I know how to get there. I know exactly what you know, and it's going to bring you through. So it's hard because it's how much you gave that person. And even if it's just thought, how much time my mind wanders over there. And that's why Spirit's saying, well, you need to replace that with something else. You will not be able to break that karmic cord any which way. Like you'll never be able to break it, okay? You break it by seeing the person differently, that you're no longer seeing that you're a match. And that's because it's like, oh, your character is really not where it should be. And then it's about embodying, like what you want through the passions of your life. And then Spirit will nourish you with more people and more situations and more experiences that fill you up. And then when you're all full, that's when that right person comes into your life. Because they're saying, wow, look at you. You're like somebody that you really have your life together. You have a job and you take care of yourself. That's your own place that you live in. And you go away on vacation a few times a year with your friends. And wow, you really don't need to have anyone in your life, huh? You really don't need it. No, it's a choice. And it's like, because I don't need to. And then you will be desirable. Then it's for you to be careful that you just don't let anyone into your life that's gonna think that they're gonna capitalize on what you have. And you'll know by how much they invest in themselves. And Spirit's saying, I need you to invest in yourself. Again, and where this person doesn't, and this way you'll recognize it when it's just words. Facing fears is that. Oh, look at this, release control, where Spirit's like, it's not about you doing it. And that's a hard thing, because we always say, well, I like that person. And then it's like, why did you bring that person into my life? And so Spirit says to teach, release control, let go of the need to control things and trust in the flow, surrender to the process, which is a second chakra imbalance, by the way. When we want to control, we're a tight ass. We have a lot of anxiety. And Spirit says, I can't have you like that. You have to be fluid, go with the flow. And you can do that when you're doing what you love, connecting to people that you love, like really having a love affair in your life by doing different things, investing in yourself, finding yourself. And even if you say there is nothing, then use the broken pieces to as the catalyst. Be like, okay, well, I mean, I'm not perfect, so let me work on myself. And the universe will always make a way where there isn't a way, just for you. That's the promise. But you've got to, again, invest in you. It's like this person came into your life. You're trying to control it. Spirit's saying, where's your identity? Where's your passion? There's the flow. Again, this person made you feel like unworthy because of that. Again, they didn't think that they needed to step it up. And so Spirit says it's about facing your fear. Maybe not being alone, you know. Fear is often an illusion. Don't let it hold you back. Confront your challenges, where Spirit says, don't be codependent. It's like a lot of times when you're with someone because you think that they're going to help you, they wind up actually hurting you in that area that you thought that they were going to help you. So Spirit says, don't do my job. Do your job. Be like childlike. Have fun in life. It's, again, be the expression of love. And you'll connect to who you love. You will become that. And then eventually you will attract that. It's like, do not, again, listen to have discernment. Because all through this reading, it's like, this person was a jerk. And now they're like, want to come back because they have this big epiphany. And it's like, it doesn't matter. You did what you did. But, you know, there will always be somebody that takes the person back and says, well, I like them. They're my twin flame. I really should be. So for those people, let's see how it works out. Because it's like, I don't think that this person is healed. You know, they haven't taken the time to heal. Can't go into one relationship after a relationship ends like that and not do any reflection work. And this person isn't reflecting. They're reflecting on how to be with you. Person of the earth, grounded, secure, stubborn, nurtured. So again, this person will work. They'll be stable. They're a good provider. But they also have a lot of fear too of their past relationship. So it's almost like there's a lot of worry and fear because they haven't, when you don't heal that, it's not like it doesn't go away. Your spirit knows that, hey, things don't really work out. That didn't work out. So at any time, the connection could go, especially when there's been betrayal, where this person, again, tends to think who they are. So they would think that there's betrayal, even though that they deserved it. So it's like this person would be nervous. This is saying like happening right now. So this person is thinking about it. And they're thinking about whether they should move on or not. That's really, it's like what it is. They don't know whether they should move on, what they should do. Because they actually know that, you know, they're going to be like dishonored again, like, well, again, being punished, I should say, like that they're gonna have to confront what they did, and that's gonna be bad. And I already feel like that already is gonna happen once with this person. So they're like a little bit worried about having to come back and hear it from you after that past karmic person already put them through whatever they put them through. So it's almost like, again, like, oh, I don't really want to deal with it. I don't want to like come back. So I don't even think this person comes back the correct way. You know, they don't pick up the phone, they don't come by. Like they would try and bump into you. They would try and do something lame like that. Show up where you're going to be at the right time because again, they don't want that humiliation. They don't want that punishment. So these are their concerns, but they are going to do it. But it's again, it's not going to be. And I knew it. I knew it because again, mirage, not what it seems, an optical illusion. And that's what I feel like. It's again, this person is going to be at the lowest part of their life. And they're at the lowest part of their life because of what that karmic is doing. So now, of course, they're like reflecting back on you and they're seeing that you're not affected. They thought that you would be affected. They thought that you were going to rescue them. None of that shit happened. Now it's like, as their life is falling apart, they're looking at your life and being like, oh, well, maybe. And it's like, oh, again, I have this epiphany, but they don't want to look at anything. And the optical illusion is that it's like this person, they haven't done any healing. They only know how to be. They just because like you are going to be different, the relationship could be a little bit different, but they're still going to have all those habits and behaviorisms that you had to deal with before. Which so for those of you that say, well, fuck it, I don't care, I like this person anyway, well, you know that it's going to be like not that it's going to be a little toxic then, and that while you're invested in this person, I guess you're not worried about your job or any other thing in life because they're going to drain a lot of your time and energy. It's like because they're broken. And here it is, you're inviting them into your life. Well, that means, are you helping me? This person's needy. We got that one a few days ago. Like maybe it was like 3 or 4 days ago, needy. Like, but that's the energy here. Lazy, needy, like not knowing, not evolved. Somebody's not going to come and rescue them from this. It's like spirit saying no. But if we say, okay, so what's going to happen like for us if we move forward like in this and let this like, I don't want to say go because you never really let it go. We can I want to just find my little deck just for fun. Usually I don't we don't pull from it, but I want to see if I can find I have a baby deck. And this baby deck is like a small one. Watch, it's like spirit being like, nope, nope, nope. And the live stream. It's like, I really wanted to like see though. Let's just see what would happen. Where's that? Oh, that little deck. I'm like, where is it? I think this is it. I hope, or is this the questions? No, these are like little questions. These are stupid little questions. I can't find that little deck. Oh, crap. All right, well, we'll pull from this and see if we can get any information like, well, what would happen for you? Like, I mean, I'm sure that if this was supposed to be a twin flame relationship and you are vibing at that vibration and this person just chose not to come into your life, like because they didn't want to do the work, that the universe brings you someone else is what I'm curious about. Is that, will you get a replacement? Like a replacement. Think about that. Where Spirit saying, not right away. Like Spirit saying, again, naturalist, I think find your own way right now. Don't be narrow-minded. Be patient. Spirit says it's all about you creating yourself right now, the gift of style, becoming yourself, finding your style. That actually unlocks your DNA, and that's what helps you actually break karmic contracts that keep you bound to a person that's cruel, something they're really needy. It's, again, this is also about you healing compassion, getting compassion, learning the spiritual lesson of compassion, which also goes with forgiveness, which where spirit's like, well, you have to actually learn the spiritual lesson of forgiveness in order to let go. So maybe you're still holding on to resentment from childhood, and then it played out within other relationships, or maybe it just played out in a bunch of relationships with spirit saying forgiveness and compassion, and then understand breaking the karmic contracts, that which is the DNA. It's like ancestral. Like, I don't know, my mom married someone that was a narcissist. My dad was with someone that was a narcissist. It's like you're breaking that karmic contract. But you're breaking it because you're not just saying no more, but you're also have compassion and you have forgiveness, which spirit's saying is that it's like you're not going to meet somebody right away because you're creating yourself. You're still creating yourself. Which spirit told me that before, but I was like, let's see with another deck, maybe somebody will come in. And spirit's like, no. I said no one's coming in, because you still need to fully transmute that energy, still become yourself more, but have patience. It's going to happen. And we got patience twice. And that is a spiritual one that we have to learn, unfortunately. It's one I don't like either. So thank you for sharing your energy with me. Yeah, unfortunately, no replacements yet, because you're going to like still like create yourself. You're still in the process of creating yourself. You're still healing, and you just haven't healed all the way. However, it is happening. Well, that's the thing. It's like eventually it'll happen, because while you're healing yourself and you're becoming yourself and you're actually in the gift of style, you're at the highest vibration possible, and you're doing what you love, and it's connecting you to people that you love, and it's really expanding your consciousness because it's bringing you to all different opportunities. So now, instead of saying, well, I only have 3 things to choose from on the menu, because there's only so many towns I can go to date. Spirit saying, what are you talking about? The world is your oyster. Oh, I never knew I was going to marry someone from Tahiti. I never thought that I was going to marry someone from Japan. I never thought that. Then Spirit saying, yeah, you were in the gift of style. You created yourself, and the universe like just knew that you were living your bliss and brought you to the things and the experiences that transcended all those limitations that your mind had created due to the experiences that you lived. God says, you're down there to learn. You're not separate from me. You think I'm like, my big Friday night is going to be watching SmackDown, eating pizza in front of the TV? Really? Like, it's like God says, I'm all knowing. I'm like, I'm the highest passion. It's again, and you have that energy inside of you. No, there's no limitations. You'd be, if you were, God, maybe you're going to go to Paris and France and all through Europe. You know what I mean? Paris is in France, but nevertheless, but Italy and then Rome and then here and there and everywhere, to experience all different cultures and meet all different types of people and eat all these delicious types of foods and experience everything from every single culture that was amazing. Spirit says, you think that you're just going to pick that Friday night SmackDown with the pizza and that person that's sitting there on the couch? Really? That's it? Like Spirit says, this is why. It's like you're so small. You're asking for so small due to, again, being neglected. No support in childhood. You don't need support anymore, Spirit says. Go out and do it. No relationship right now. Go out and do it. Become it. Love yourself. Become yourself. Be true to you. Be patient. It's happening. It's coming. Well, it's like you can play life together. It's like, and that's as long as you're continually growing yourself. The issue is most people don't do that. They get lost in the relationship. And that's the problem. So the relationship may start off all lovey dovey and great and fine and wonderful. But if you're not interactive in your own life, you create no balance in your life. And that's because, it's like you go through hard times. Everyone goes through hard times. And if there's only one person that, we tend to take out our frustration and our anger and just our life on that one person, where you can't be an island. Well, I feel like your twin will always know who you are. It's like, but the thing is, your twin, if they are a true twin, will be ready to step into the right level of consciousness. And that right level of consciousness would be, I'm not going to be needy. And so, yeah. And it won't matter because guess what? Richard is doing what he's doing. He's filling his own glass up. He doesn't need me to fill his glass up. And that makes him very, very desirable because, I don't have to do it. So there's no expectation, there's no ownership. It just is. He keeps the relationship nice and clean. Now, it doesn't mean that Richard never has a problem, or the person that he's with doesn't have a problem. Well, sometimes they do, but the difference is they always get through. You know why? Because they're balanced. They have a lot of other support. They have a lot of other people. And they're always resourceful because it's not just them. They're not on a desert island by themselves. That's why. So that's why it's important, that you have to do it for yourself. And it's hard to do it yourself, especially if you're like, I'm not happy with my job. I'm not happy with my life. But believe me, that's when you need to do it. That's when you need to do it, because you might be like, no, the relationship's great. Believe me, the relationship will be great for a certain amount of time, but you can't create like support through creating it through something outside of yourself. Support where there's strength, where it can go through with the flow of life. We don't have control over life, but we do ourselves. And that's what Spirit's saying. Sometimes the relationships that are karmic will drain more than actually feed because of the fact that there needs to be healing is all. But it doesn't mean that it's not love. But over time, that connection can become corroded, can actually like break because of it. And that's what happened here. This person really thought who they were, and they're getting exactly what they deserve. Again, so whoever is not going back to this person, you reward yourself. And again, no, that is happening. You're going to get that person. It's just not tomorrow. Thanks again. And again, don't forget to fill out the wait list if you are interested in checking out that webinar. We're closing it soon. I talked my person into like, let me just put it on to the social medias and everything for 2 days, see if we can get any more people, because people tend to always drop out and not show up. It's just the way that it goes. So again, if you want to put your name on the list, and I might even be on later. I'm trying to be on more times for you guys. This channel is new relatively again, and it's a different style. Yes, it's going to be Zoom, and you're going to get that link. If you didn't get that link already, yes. I wanted to put it through Zoom. Thank you, Handmade with Love. Thank you. And thank everybody else for joining me today and every day. Be true to yourselves. Remember that. Always love yourself. Choose yourself. And then everything else will fall right into place. I promise you that. The universe will always have your back. Always. Okay, great. Well, I can't wait. And if I don't see it there, I'll come be looking for you, Richard, because I'll be like, I know Richard said that he was going to be here, and if he is not here, then I'm going to have to post that link in either Facebook or somewhere else. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining me. Love you. Bye. Yeah, I'll come looking for you. I'll come find you. I'll come find you. I'll be like that. Where's my $2? $2. I'll be like, you showing up for the webinar? The webinar? You going to the webinar? The webinar? You going to my webinar? Right? You're like, oh, you'll be hiding from me. Oh, no, I don't want to go to the damn webinar anymore. Webinar, where's my $2? $2. Give me my $2. That paper boy. All right, bye, guys.